Okay. We're ready to go. Beautiful evening. I really truly believe that this kind of evening is exactly what the Royal Albert Hall was built for. And, you know, we hear a lot and we talk about the community of musicians here, but tonight that is absolutely the case. The camaraderie and bumping into everybody backstage, it's a fantastic atmosphere. I really hope that you're enjoying the evening, and the second half is just about to start. And I'm going to introduce somebody that has been on this stage many, many times through the years. I think probably the first time in the early 1960s. He was here for the concert for George. I don't know whether any of you were here for that. It was an absolutely magical night. And he rounded off the evening with the most beautiful version of I'll See You in My Dreams, with all the flower petals coming down. And in fact, I was on the stage here to introduce his 50th anniversary concert here a few years ago. He's one of my best friends, and it's such a pleasure to welcome to you Joe Brown.
Well, what a wonderful venue. As Bob said, I've played at the Albert Hall many, many times when I was younger. That's to say, not in it, at it, from across the road there. But tonight is very special because I know the Lord's family and they've been very good to me. I just explained the first time that I met John, I went to his house and he always greeted me the same way. Glass of champagne, dear boy. And I thought, this cannot be a keyboard player with a heavy rock band. But he did, he had a wonderful family. John's father and mother, Miriam, she was a lovely lady, and John's dad, Reg, we got on like a house on fire because Reg knew all the old musical songs. He used to say, oh, I've just got a song here for you, Old Woods Woodwork. And he'd go through all these songs which I'd never heard. And as to John's immediate family, I've got to say this, they were so kind to myself and my late wife, Vicky. When Vicky was diagnosed with cancer, they took her in, they looked after her while I was away on tour, and I will be forever grateful for that. And I do love the opportunity of coming up here and saying something nice about him. Well, when I first moved into the Henley-on-Thames area, there was a load, yeah, I know, yeah. Let me tell you something, I brought the price of bloody property down. But, you know, in those days there was great musicians that lived round there. Most of all have either moved away or passed away. And the latter being our dear John, George Harrison, Gary Moore, loads of other guys around there. There's nobody left around there now except me. But I must say this, of all his friends and everyone that knew him, I'm sure, in the words of George Harrison, he will always remain my sweet Lord. And well, that's about all I've got to say, except I'd like to thank Albert for the use of the hall and introduce you to Paul Weller.
We're going to play a couple of songs from John's first band, or I think it's his first band from the 60s, called the Artwoods. And yeah, here we go. Ever a doubt about you? Know that you're mine. I can't lose this feeling. Stays on my mind. That's why things get better, baby, when I'm with you. Yeah, things get better, baby, when I'm with you. Yeah. When I'm with you, yeah. Things get better, baby, when I'm with you.
Thank you very much. It's been an honour to be asked tonight to come and pay respect to the great man. And here's another song from the Artwoods days.
Well, I take what I want. I'm on back, gonna get her, yeah. I never lose, and I ain't no quitter, yeah. Because I take what I want. But honey, I want you. Yes, I do. Well, I've been watching you, and now you said a word. Now I'm out to get you, baby. Gonna make you my girl. What I want, I'm a bad, gonna get her, yeah.
The great Paul Weller, everybody. And another all-star lineup about to take the stage. Please welcome Phil Campbell, Bernie Marsden, Ian Pace, and Nick Fife.
Well, hi. This is Silas and Jerome.
Now dig this, I was going down the road just the other day. I saw these little new angels passing by my way. Said, listen, baby, I'm a rock and roll star, and I got some news for you. She turned around and looked to me. She looked just like she come out of school. She said, you're cool. I said, that's true. No, she said, you're really cool, man. I said, so are you, baby. She said, what time you play? 'Cause I might be able to stay. I thought I was beginning to get through. Smiled as I put my hand in my coat. I said, I'm the man for you. You looked at me with those big blue eyes, and she smoked the whole cigarette through. She said, which band you play for, man? I tried to catch some air. She said, try to play him tight tonight. It'd be good if you got there. Oh. What? Yeah. All right. Well, I thought I was beginning to get on to something big. I said to all my friends, she's coming down to the gig. Ow! All right. She came back down after the show, and all her friends came with her too. One with a great big scar on his face, and one from the local zoo. I said, hey baby, can we go someplace? Just you and me alone. She said, this is my boyfriend Silas, man, and my big brother Jerome. I said, shame on you. I could not believe it was true. But I suppose on the whole, that's rock and roll.
The boys.
I came round this morning, I was feeling like hell. Telephone exploded and I went, oh, that bell sounded so loud in my head. I actually thought I was dead. by. Let me be. I'm gonna lay down and cry. I get this feeling every time that I'm dry. Just hand me 3 fingers, and the longer it lingers, I begin to feel high. All that I need is that friend in my hand, and I'm fine. I don't want no lemonade, first ain't no water, oh wine. All I need is spirit. Here's my glass, so please will you fill it? I ain't gonna spill it. Just give me time to readjust me. Why does no one ever seem to trust me? Well, why don't you come along if you like, and you can force me? Well, all I want is spirit. Here's my glass, please, will you fill it? Don't worry, I ain't gonna spill it. All that I need is that friend in my hand, and I'm fine. Don't want no lemonade, first ain't no water, oh wine. So don't try to trick me into thinking I'm gonna be better one day. All you gotta do is give me that friend in my hand, and I'll show you all the way. I'm gonna stop drinking. I know what you're thinking, but I'm gonna stop drinking someday.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's a privilege to be here tonight. I never actually got to meet Jon Lord. I just got in the back door here on this stage tonight. I'm lucky to be here. I do have the privilege now of introducing 2 folk I do know and I have met on my journey, and who were quite important to Jon. I know that. Mr. Steve Balsamo and Sandy Tom.
Live the life of a drifter, waiting for the day when I take your hand and sing you songs. Maybe you would say, come lay with me and love me. I would surely stay, but I feel I'm growing older, and the songs that I have sung echo in the distance like a sound of a windmill going round. Guess I'll always be a soldier of fortune. Guess I'll always be a soldier of fortune. I can hear the sound of a windmill going round. I guess I'll always be a soldier of fortune. I guess I'll always be soldier of fortune.
Okay. How about this then? First of all, would you welcome Glenn Hughes?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
And Bruce Dickinson.
Yeah. You hang on to that one.
And Ian Pace. And Don Airy. I think you should take it away. What do you reckon?
kids, are we ready? We all know this song.
Keep on moving, oh yeah, far away, far away. I said you keep on moving, oh yeah, far away. Far away. Just begun. You put your arms around me like a circle around the sun. You dance across the seasons to a place where nobody knows, where angels feel to each some love for Brother Jon. Let me hear you. Let's hear the love from my boy.
And as the song goes, the next song goes, I think Jon, he didn't believe she was the devil's sperm either.
Or perm. It's really a great honour to be here
Devil's
tonight.
perm, actually. Devil's perm.
Devil's perm, or you can call it sperm, but perm is appropriate.
Ah, but never mind. The people laughed till she
did.
said,
She said perm.
burn.
And that's what we did.
Get down, you motherfuckers! The sky is red, I don't understand. Past midnight, I still see the land. People are saying the woman is dead. She meant to go
up for
Mr.
Bruce.
Hughes. See you all a bit later. Thanks, John. If he's watching, he's taking the piss and he's happy. All right. We'll see you all in a bit. Not him. He's carrying on.
How you feel? Give it up for Bruce. And please for Ian Pace, a friend of mine. I actually lived with Ian here. I was only 21 years old. I was asked to join this wonderful band called Deep Purple Mark III, which to this very day I'm really, really happy to say that it was a really extremely emotional time for me, musically and off stage. But things happened in that band which helped me to become somewhat of the man I am today. Thank you, Brother John. Thank you so much, John. Thank you for driving all the way to the West Midlands to meet my mum and dad. I am their only child, wrapping your arms around them, as you did to me and my friends. We're all gawping at you, and you never changed. You taught me how to live when I couldn't live for myself, and you helped me how to do things when things were difficult, and we shared celebration of life. And we shared laughter. Laughter was a huge thing for me and John. Love laughter. We choose happiness and we can choose life. And before I sing this song, John and I were recording with Ian, David, and Richie in Musicland Studios in August of '75. And we'd been recording, and the guys did dinner, and John and I went back to the studio just to mess around, and he started to play these minor 9, major 7 chords, and it brought something up in me that needed to come out that night. So I'm going to sing a song that John and I wrote together. It's the only song we ever wrote together, completely together. And it's special. Hope you like it.
Hands and down. to the ones we're not to blame. There's no mistakes, there's no refrain. Sing surroundings, and stood here again. This time, as I look around, you can't be found. To lose you, I would rather see the endless time of space go passing by. This time, this time, to lose you, I would rather see the endless time of space go passing by. Ah, oh yeah. To lose you, I would rather see the endless time of space go passing by.
Thank you.
Mr. Glenn Hughes, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear it. So, next band, he knows who it is. I've got no idea, of course. I haven't been here all day. But I can tell you that when I was 15 years old and I heard this band through somebody's bedroom wall, and I knocked on the door and I said, "Who the fuck is that?" And then I sort of went down into the bike sheds and went, "Ah!" I went, "Blimey, I can scream just like him." Except I couldn't, not quite. And then I decided that I wanted to be a drummer. Mainly because of the bloke who was the drummer. And then I discovered that I couldn't be a drummer either, not really, not as good as him. And the one phrase that confused me as a young adolescent 15-year-old was a quote from Jon Lord, who in later life I got to know and got drunk with a few times and was a splendid chap. But I was a little bit unsure when I read, "I think the sound of Deep Purple has a hell of a lot to do with my organ." Oh shit, I've given it away. What a surprise. Bob?
Ladies and gentlemen, I have two final words to add to the evening, and they are Deep Purple.
has got to be 20 foot tall, and the man standing high. Oh, it's good to be king. Standing together again. Everyone's starting this way. Up on a hill, close to the sky. Ah, what a fabulous day. And the man is walking tall. It's good to be king. Yes, it's good to be king. Bow your head, the carriage is waiting to take you away. Remember the feeling, remember the day. Believe what you see as the ladies in waiting drift away. Yes, it's good to be king. It's good to be king. Yes, and it's good to be king. Oh, it's good to be king.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Sensational. What good vibes you've been sending up here all night. Thank you. It's much appreciated by everyone. Thank you. That was Uncommon Man. I think we know what it's all about. We've got, in fact, it was uncanny walking in here. We played here a few times, but you never forget the first time. And they had us doing a photograph session over there somewhere for the concerto album. We sat in the stalls, and later on, after the final dress rehearsal, we went for a bite to eat. Everyone was a bit nervous, so we had some pasta and a little place around the corner and some Chianti. And there had been, you may have read at the time, a little bit of antipathy on both sides towards the project. And but here we were, about to do it. And Jon said to me very quietly over a glass of wine, he said, "Ian," he said, "Oh, I wonder if you've given any thought to the lyrics for the second movement." I said, "Well, as you know, Jon, I was going to sort of improvise, but I've thought better of it, and so I scribbled a few notes down on this napkin, and which I put in my pocket. And as we came to the second movement, I
moved across, and John looked at me with a sort of worried look in his face, and I pulled the napkin out of my pocket and put it on the rostrum, and he looked across and he went. And that was the way it went. And now, this is especially for our beloved John. It's, if you wouldn't mind just keeping very quiet at the beginning, because there's a new intro, and it's called Above and Beyond. Thank you.
Light up a candle, start one for me. Let it float on the water, right down to the sea. Draw back your curtains, wave me goodbye. Lift up your arms, look up to the sky, to the sky. Keep it alight, put it there in the window, and I'll come back tonight. Touch me in the darkness, I'll give you a sign. Give me your loving, and I'll send you mine. I may be leaving, but not too long. I'll be there when you want me, above and beyond. say you stay in bed. You don't want no money, you don't want no bread. No, no. If you're drowning, you clutch no straw. If you're drowning, you clutch no straw. Wanna cry, don't wanna live no more. No, no. Floor. But he's stepping in them puddles no more. Later, you stay in bed. Wow, come on, man. Yeah. Fantastic, thank you very much. Mr. Bentley Klein, BK, thank you, we love you. Fantastic. Always adds a little something, does BK. Thank you very much. All right, here's a blues thing that we did a long time ago. Is that what we're doing now? Yeah? Mm-hmm. Okay. Just as well. When a blind man cries. Thank you. If you're leaving, close the door. I'm not expecting people anymore. Hear me grieving, lying on the floor. Whether I'm drunk or dead, I'm really not too sure. I'm a blind man. I'm a blind man. Now my world is pale. When a blind man cries, Lord, you know, it's sad to tell. No. I had a friend once in a room. We had a good time, but it ended much too soon. In a cold month in that room, found a reason for the things we had to do. I'm a blind man. I'm a blind man. Now my room is cold. 'Cause when a blind man cries, Lord,
go. Fantastic. Beautiful. Thank you. Beautiful. Thank you very much. When a Blind Man Cries. Thank you. Okay. All right. Okay. I didn't get a list. I knew what we were doing, but I didn't know, as he said, in which order. This is it's from the 80s. It's called Perfect Strangers. Okay.
must remain inside the silent well of sorrow. A strand of silver hanging through the sky, touching more than you see. Voice of ages in my mind, wild aching in the dead of the night. How my life, your tears lost from pouring wine. If you hear me talking on the wind, you got to understand we must remain perfect strangers. To taste your poison. Fantastic! Thank you very much. Unbelievable. Thank you, thank you. That's great. All right. We're going now. How are you? What is it?
Okay, let's see if I can remember this one. You might as well stay standing up, I think, for this one. All right.
Find a way down the line that I'm free. Fantastic. Unbelievable. Thank you so much. Thank you.
another thing. We're going to get everybody on. Everybody. Hey, come on. Let's get everybody on. You know who you are.
Thank you all for the wonderful spirit and emotion you brought for all the right reasons here tonight. You sent some fantastic vibes down, and we all know why we're here. So thank you very much. We love you. Take it easy. Bye-bye.
We'd like you to all just to really, obviously, we're all here for Jon, but we would like to just make a special thanks to Mr. Wixie here, who put a bunch of rock musicians and organised them into a coherent whole, which is, it's about 10 foot deep actually, but never mind. and the man, here you go.
Thank you very much, thank you.
Right, go home.